guaranteed. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh, that was very sprightly.
It was.
Considering that I've got no energy again.
Just do some crack back then.
No, because I am mostly anti-drug.
Yes. No, I mean, I didn't actually think you'd done crack. It wasn't a serious question.
It was rhetorical.
Did you actually do some crack? No.
You want some crack?
I'd be very annoyed if I'd be like, listen, we need to have a word.
Yes, we need to have a chat. Can I just... Oh, it's like I've got a fucking second wind. We've got two episodes in, and this is the third one we're recording same day, like we usually do. And this is when I'm getting my fucking energy.
Well, it's fine. I'll take it whenever it comes.
Hello, the colder months where I can dress in trackies now, and this is all you're going to see for the next few months until it starts to get slightly warmer again.
Yes.
But hat, hoodie, tracky bees, slipper socks. Mm-hmm. I'm living.
Have you got slipper socks on?
Yeah. Well, they're kind of slipper socks, boot socks.
I like the fact they're black. Because slipper socks
Like
are normally like stupid colours.
Or like really fuzzy.
Yeah, I like the fact they're understated.
I just think they're kind of thick socks, but I wear them as like slipper socks.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
So I'm in my element because I'm comfortable, and I find dressing for summer really, really hard because I never feel comfortable in anything I'm wearing. Yeah. I have put on a bit of weight as well, so that kind of makes it worse. So I never felt comfortable before, but with the weight gain, I feel even less comfortable.
I think the thing with our country as well is, okay, from one day to the next, we don't know what the fucking weather's going to do.
Only country where you see all 4 seasons in one fucking day.
Precisely. And in the summer, it literally can go from very hot to fucking hailing in the same day.
Well, yeah.
So at least in the winter, you're like, okay, well, I know I've got to wear some layers.
Yeah.
And then if I get too hot, I can take a layer off. It is a bit easier.
Yeah.
And I'm just resigned to the fact now that
I don't like getting done up.
I just want to wear athleisure wear for the rest of my life. And then it's just various grades of it. Mm. So there's like homeless, somewhat...
respectable.
And then going out athleisure wear.
Yeah.
So it's like the 3 stages.
Like, what are heels anymore?
Fuck no.
I haven't worn heels in years. Oh, no, that's a lie. I wore them at the wedding.
Yeah, I did wear them at the wedding, but I couldn't keep them on for long. But to be fair...
I didn't either.
The terrain was sort of, a bit...
Yeah.
Because it was outside.
Yeah.
And
on farmland as well. So I was grateful that, that was the case of, like, flip-flops on.
Of course.
And got my flippy flappies.
Best wedding ever.
Yeah.
So... we could have done with that chat when we just recorded Spooky Chat and had not much to say.
I'm really sorry. I failed us.
That's okay. To be fair, I failed us because I did have a screen that I normally have prompts written on of stuff to talk about, and all I'd written down was fucking something about Buffy. Fucking...
Yeah, Mark, do you know what? Maybe we should get a mic for Mark and, like, he can just interject every now and then. Like, he's like a disembodied voice.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that adds to the spookiness.
That's what we should put on your T-shirt.
Disembodied voice?
Yeah. He is.
Imagine adding that to your CV. Voice. Customer care manager, sound guy, disembodied voice.
Yeah. Goob said that, to be fair, 3 people at the Halloween party said, so you're Goober.
Look at that. He's everyone's favourite.
Exactly. Love that.
I'm not surprised. The family like him better than me, so,
Just about to say, he's the family favourite anyway.
Yeah,
so,
right?
That's all good.
He's even funny when he's sober. Oh, I don't think anyone heard him snort then. Julia said that to him once, so him and Julia just rip the shit out of each other. I mean, Mark does that with you as well, but
when Julia's here, all the attention goes on her, which I'm very grateful for.
And she once said to him, and this was when he would drink, and he doesn't he doesn't drink anymore at all. Very rarely, you know, maybe at a gig he'll have fucking half a shandy.
Yeah.
But she said to him, we went out one night and she was like, oh, you're even funny when you're sober. Oh, fuck. He is probably one of the funniest people.
Yeah. He is.
Yeah.
So today, this case is fucking a lot. So, I found this by accident again when I was watching a film and I went, fuck me, that would be a good case to do on Cars of the Macabre, and then regretted it as soon as I started looking into it because it is very brutal.
You know me. Even if people don't like the brutality, I do. Well, not that I, don't like it. It's...
No, well, I just...
Give me the nitty gritty.
Obviously, what we look at is going to be bad, but, like, sometimes it's, like, as you look into the case, it gets worse and worse and worse. And I was like, oh, fucking hell, why did I start this? But, so first of all, have you heard of a man called Rodney Alcala?
No.
I hadn't until I saw a film called Woman of the Hour, which is on Netflix. It's directed by Anna Kendrick. She also stars in it.
I fucking love Anna Kendrick.
I highly, highly recommend it.
What are we doing later?
It honestly, it's one of the best films I've seen this year. Really, really good. In
response to my question, what we're doing later, Mark turned around and said, Anna Kendrick, I hope.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I can't, yeah. Yeah, you can, yeah.
So, talking about this case, big trigger warning. I know there is one at the beginning of all of our episodes. Anyway,
yes, free pass.
Are you guys just having your own conversation?
He loves Anna Kendrick.
That's so funny because Anne loves Anna Kendrick.
Do you know what? I love the fact that she looks miserable when she's not, because I get that a lot. I'm not saying I look like Anna Kendrick. By no fucking means do I look like Anna
You
Kendrick.
look like the singer from Cardigans, but with brown hair.
And I will take that.
Oh, yeah.
I will take that.
She's cool.
What was I saying?
Well, I was asking if you two were having your own fucking episode going on over there. I'm trying to tell a story and you're to talk about Anna Kendrick, which is fine because she is a stone cold hottie and she seems very intelligent and she's a good actress.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think she's brilliant.
Well, Goobs wants an app on her.
And she's mates with Zac Efron.
Is she? Love that. Okay. Okay. Right. I'll go back.
Right.
So, fucking big trigger warning for this because it is a really disturbing story. So, this guy, who I hadn't heard of before and I don't know how, is an absolute fucking gutter slug. He is disgusting.
Gutter slug.
Gutter slug.
I love that.
Okay.
New insult.
Okay.
I know a lot of gutter slugs.
Have it as an insult. So, in 1978...
He looks a bit like a fucking gutter slug.
Yeah, fucking does, he is. Rodney Alcala appeared on an American game show called The Dating Game. So we had a similar show here in the UK, which was called Blind Date. Remember?
Cilla Black, icon of the 90s.
Well, even before that.
And, much
she
before
was friends with the Beatles, wasn't she?
Yeah, but don't forget, I'm 35.
All right.
Nearly.
I'm not. Stop with that woman. So we had Blind Date. For those who don't know what the dating game or Blind Date is, that there would be 3 contestants and sort of one bachelor on Blind Date.
Or bachelorette.
Bachelorette, yeah. And the contestants would be asked a series of questions from behind a screen. And eventually, I don't know why, but that sounded really weird when it came out of my mouth.
Eventually.
Lost all meaning. One contestant is chosen to go on a date. So Rodney Alcala was 35 years old at the time and won a date with Bachelorette Cheryl Bradshaw. So that's who Anna Kendrick plays in Woman of the Hour.
Okay.
If you watch it tonight, I want feedback.
Okay.
It's so fucking good.
To be honest, we'll probably be passing out about 8 o'clock.
It's only just been added to Netflix.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Obviously, by the time this goes out, it would have been on there a good few weeks. But yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. So she was initially charmed by Alcala. After all, she chose him. But after the show, she refused the date, telling contestant coordinator Ellen Metzger, I can't go out with this guy. There's weird vibes that are coming off of him. He's very strange. I am not comfortable. And this is a decision that may have saved her life.
Oh.
Because Rodney Alcala was a sadistic serial killer who, at the time of filming The Dating Game, had already served time for assaulting and beating an 8-year-old girl and had killed at least 5 people, including a child and a pregnant woman.
Fuck!
Told you, he was a fucking arsehole. Sorry, I've just killed a moth on the wall. And
No, don't kill moths.
It was a fucking closed moth, though, innit?
I would have got it for you.
No,
You're a shit vegan.
I know. Well, I'm not eating it. I've got a stain on my fucking wall now. All right, I'll better sort that out later. Sorry, Reg. Apologies to the universe, but I'm fucking clothing moths are the bane of my existence this week. You're right.
Yeah, should we carry on?
Yeah. So, who the hell was this piece of absolute rubbish? Rodney Alcala was born Rodrigo Jacques Alcala Bacquor. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Try to say that when you're fucking pissed.
Exactly. He was born on August 23rd in 1943. When he was 8 years old, he moved from Mexico to Los Angeles with his family. As sources say, his father, Raul, abandoned the family in 1954.
Okay. When was he born, sorry?
He was born in 1943.
Okay.
So Rodney did well at school. He was relatively popular. I couldn't see reports of any sort of nefarious behaviour back then, but that's not to say it didn't happen. Because when we go into the things he did, I find it very hard to believe that...
That it just happened.
Yeah.
That something switched.
I mean, you know, with a lot of serial killers, you do see telltale signs as they're growing up.
But then you've always got an anomaly. An anomaly. An anomaly.
Yeah, and he could be that. He could be that. Are you all right?
I work with words.
I know you do, dear, but you did just possibly smoke crack a minute ago, so that might be why.
Yeah.
So, like I said, couldn't find anything from his childhood, but that was a different story when he joined the army at age 17. During his service, he was reported as being manipulative, vindictive, and insubordinate by his commanding officer.
Oh.
Alcala was also disciplined on several occasions for assaulting young women. In 1964, Alcala went AWOL and supposedly had a nervous breakdown. At this time, he was also diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder by a military psychiatrist. Following this, he was discharged from the army on medical grounds. And as we know, I love a mental health diagnosis. I am very much
armchair diagnosis.
Armchair psychiatrist, absolutely not qualified whatsoever. But it's later reported that various psychiatric experts proposed Rodney also had narcissistic personality disorder.
Usually goes hand in hand.
Yeah. Borderline personality disorder and malignant narcissism with psychopathy and sexual sadism.
Fucking that's a whole stew right there, innit?
Yeah, fucking hell. And it makes sense when, you get to know more about it.
But it's weird because, like you say, surely there would have been sort of signs of those kind of mental health disorders, especially like antisocial, and you said borderline and all of that lot. There would be something that's like...
in his childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, that's different.
Exactly. And there may have been, but yeah, I couldn't find anything.
No, Mark, I don't think you would love him at a party.
No, you wouldn't love him at a party.
I know it's sarcasm, dear.
It's sarcasm. So after leaving the army, Alcala graduated from the UCLA School of Fine Arts, where he earned his Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in 1968. Can I just say, not all artists are lunatics.
There is a book I want to get you called Monster or Monsters, and it's about, like, people who are artists, but they're bad people as well. Like,
Are you trying to tell me something, dear?
Huh?
Are you trying to tell me something?
No! I only know one artist and they are a lunatic. I think he's talking about you now.
That's fine.
No, it's like, I think they said, like, was it Picasso beat his partners and things like that? Like, shit that you didn't know about these real famous artists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I do use it as an excuse for many things. You know, to be like, oh, don't worry about that, I'm an artist. Or that's a side effect.
To be fair, I am. I don't get it.
Sorry, Goobs is typing to us.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, see, that's my excuse for certain things. If I say something, I'll be like, it's all right, I work in death.
Yeah, and also the thing that you said that I've now adopted is that's just who I am as a person.
That's just who I am as a person. There's no excuse
and
anymore.
that is a similar sort of thing to saying with all due respect before saying something offensive and getting yourself out of it before you've said it, you know?
Yeah, but I don't think that does get you out of it.
It does for me.
It's like, oh, no offence.
With all due respect,
Yeah.
and then just say anything you like.
Yeah, but I don't think it actually gets you out because it's like the person will still... To be fair, though, being offended is a choice.
Yeah.
So if they choose to be offended by what you said, then that's a them problem.
That is on them.
Sounds like a you problem.
Does sound like a them problem. So...
Yeah. I don't know how I'm going with that. I'm wrong. I'm always wrong.
Straight back to the depths of hell.
At least it's warm and I'll know people.
Yeah. It was in 1968 that Alcala kidnapped, raped, beat and tried to murder his first known victim, 8-year-old Tali Shapiro. She was on her way to school from Chateau Marmont, where her and her family were staying. I would just like to add that I have been to Chateau Marmont several times.
Have you really?
Didn't know if you knew that. When she was lured into Alcala's car, the situation was actually seen by a passing motorist who then followed Alcala's car and contacted the police.
Oh, fucking well done them.
But Alcala took Tali back to his apartment where he raped, beat and attempted to strangle her with a metal bar. When police arrived, they kicked in the door and found Tali laying on the kitchen floor, badly beaten in a pool of blood. And the police actually thought she was dead.
Oh my gosh.
But when an officer noticed she was trying to breathe, they obviously, everyone tried to help her. And it was at this point that Alcala managed to escape out the back door.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah. When they
Why if there was that many people that had sort of attended, why was someone not watching him? I know the instincts.
Yeah, but the authorities in this case will drive you round the fucking bend.
I find that a lot of our cases, there's failings.
Oh, this is on another fucking level.
Okay.
Unbelievable. So when they searched his apartment, they did find out his name, the fact he went to UCLA, and several photos of young girls were there as well.
Fucking pedo.
But it took several months before they could actually find him. In July of 1968, 16-year-old Morgan Rowan claimed that Alcala approached her at a teen nightclub on Sunset Strip. I've been there too.
How old was he at this point?
60. So he was born in 43. I don't know, I can't.
And he was at a teen event.
He shouldn't have been at a teen nightclub. Well, he's obviously a fucking wrong, isn't he? So that's that's not really that surprising.
But you said you've been to that club, so you've been to a teen club.
No, I haven't been in a teen nightclub. I've been on Sunset Strip, mate. Sake. No, I'm not a nonce. Don't be silly. Let's not be silly. And he drove her to his apartment where he said he was having a party. Alcala dragged Morgan into his bedroom and then beat and raped her. Morgan was rescued by friends who broke into the room through a window. So they came after her, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Alcala then fled to New York and enrolled in NYU Film School from 68 to 71, where he studied film under Roman Polanski.
Oh my God.
Yeah. At this time, Alcala adopted a fake name, calling himself John Berger.
Because why wouldn't you?
And managed to remain on the run, but he was, literally hiding in plain sight, despite being on the FBI's most wanted list at this point.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Surely someone would have recognised him.
You would fucking think so. But obviously, back then, you don't have all the social media, you haven't got all the coverage of everything, there's not all the cameras, And
also techniques are different. And,
exactly, yeah. So Alcala lived as a film student and amateur photographer, basically just living his best life around New York, just sort of basically being a disgusting poop worm. And in June of 1971, Cornelia Crilly, I think it's pronounced, a 23-year-old flight attendant, was found raped and murdered in her Manhattan apartment. Alcala had strangled her with her own nylon stockings. It's believed that Cornelia met Alcala as she was moving furniture into her new apartment, and that he helped her move in some furniture.
Oh, you are...
But this murder actually remained unsolved until 2011.
Oh, fuck.
This is one of those cases where, you know, when this all came to light, it was obvious more had happened.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was brought to the forefront with sort of
DNA
advances
and
in
stuff,
DNA testing and things like that.
I was going to ask,
Yeah.
you know, did they keep DNA
Yes.
and stuff like that? And then...
They
yeah.
did their best.
Okay.
Well, no, they didn't do a great job. But during the summer months of 1971, Alcala worked at an all-girls summer drama camp in New Hampshire.
Oh, God, no.
I know.
Ah.
Two of the girls attending the camp recognised him from a wanted poster, and they notified the police who arrested him. So good on them.
Oh, fucking brave little souls.
Yeah. In 1971, Alcala was sent back to Los Angeles, but the prosecutor's case had a serious problem because Tali Shapiro's family had returned to Mexico soon after she'd recovered from her attack, and they didn't want her coming back and testifying. So
Why?
I don't know. So without their main witness, Alcala was offered a plea deal. This literally just makes me want to scream. This whole case, as I was finding out more and more, I was just getting more and more annoyed.
What? But I don't understand. They want to convict him, so why would they not want a star witness to come and...
No idea. They'd gone back to Mexico, perhaps they didn't want to put her through it. I have no idea. I don't know. You would have
Yeah,
to.
but they can record, like, behind a screen.
I don't know, babe. Well,
I need answers.
I know you do, darling. And yes, absolutely. And they're very good questions because, yeah, who knows? So, although this despicable ditch beast had been charged with rape, kidnapping, assault and attempted murder, he accepted a deal to plead guilty to child molestation, and all other charges were dropped.
How does that
I know. Honestly, this case.
I have to bite my lip to stop myself from, like, getting fucking psycho crazy.
Yeah. Ditch beast.
Ditch beast.
Fucking gutter slug.
Cockwomble.
Yeah. He was sentenced to 1 year to life and was paroled after 34 months under the indeterminate sentencing programme, which was a programme that allowed a parole board rather than a judge to decide when offenders could be released. So their decision would be based on whether or not they thought the offender appeared to have been rehabilitated.
But people like that are so fucking manipulative. They just have to say the right thing. And back then, let's face it, parole boards probably weren't as tough maybe as they are now. Again, I don't know. I've never been part of a parole board. I was going to say 1 year to life.
Yeah, it's a little bit...
It's a bit of a fucking jump, is it not?
Yeah. So this meant that in Alcala's case, with his ability to mask his real self with charm, because, you know...
Well, he's a narcissist.
Exactly.
And a psycho.
He was back out on the streets in less than 3 years.
Cunt.
Within 8 weeks of being released, Alcala went back to prison for violating his parole because he gave weed to a 13-year-old girl. And she actually told police that Alcala kidnapped her, but he was not charged for this. I don't know why. So Alcala spent another 2 years locked up, but was released again in 1977. Again under the indeterminate sentencing programme because it worked so well last time.
Yeah, are they not looking at, like, patterns here?
Honestly, it's so frustrating.
Why are people stupid?
Yeah. I mean, he was reported to authorities so many times and he still went on to kill a ridiculous amount of people. So upon being released, he returned to LA and he got a job as a typesetter for the LA Times. So, you know, we can see, like we're just saying, we can see a pattern forming here. He's basically getting away with these crimes with just a bit of a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's going to be feeding into his narcissism, into his psychopathy. You know, he's getting away with murder.
He's going to think he's
literally.
invincible.
Yeah. So, you can see that that's obviously, it's not a deterrent. Because he's not being deterred.
I mean, I can only sort of speak for modern prisons and stuff, but that's not a fucking deterrent anymore.
Well, he's on their radar. He was on the FBI's most wanted list.
It's like, oh, off you pop.
But it's like, send him back out into the world to take photographs. It's like, no, this is a bad idea.
Yeah. He is a bad man.
He's a very bad man. So in June of 1977, Christine Ruth Thornton disappeared after she was seen hitchhiking. Her body wasn't found until 1982 in Sweetwater County, Wyoming, along Interstate 80. And sadly, she wasn't identified until 2015. Alcala admitted taking a photo of Christine, but not to killing her. Christine was around 6 months pregnant at the time of her death.
No.
And was recognised from photos released to the public a lot later. So I'll go into that in a bit.
Okay.
Alcala's LA parole officer, for some fucking reason, you're just going to get more and more angry, permitted him, this repeat offender, to travel back to New York City in July of 1977. And it's believed at this time, Alcala killed 23-year-old Ellen Jane Hoover. She was the daughter of nightclub owner Herman Hoover and goddaughter of Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr.
Oh, gosh.
Ellen was last seen at her New York apartment on the 15th of July, and in her diary, it showed an entry that she had an appointment with one John Berger that same day, which was sort of an alias of his.
Yeah.
Her remains were discovered buried under heavy rocks on a hillside overlooking the Hudson River. Because he was just let to go back to New York. Oh, yeah, it's fair enough. You've done all this shit.
Run free.
Fucking hell. In October of 1977, 19-year-old Pamela Jean Lampson disappeared after making a trip to Fisherman's Wharf to meet a photographer. I'm putting photographer in inverted commas because he wasn't a photographer, he was just a cunt.
Yeah.
Her beaten and naked body was found in Marin County near a hiking trail. There were no fingerprints or usable DNA recovered and charges were never filed, but police claimed that there was sufficient evidence to suggest that Alcala committed this murder as well.
Right, similar MO.
Exactly.
Thing, yeah.
In November of that year, in LA, Alcala raped, sodomised and murdered an 18-year-old girl called Jill Barkham. She was from New York and had just recently moved to California. Alcala used a large rock to smash in her face and strangled her with her belt and her trouser leg. He then left her body, posed on her knees with her face in the dirt in the foothills near Hollywood. This is why I had to put trigger warning on this fucking case. In December 1977, Alcala raped, sodomised and murdered 27-year-old nurse Georgia Wickstead. He used a hammer to sexually abuse Georgia, then used the claw end of the hammer to beat and smash in her head. He strangled her with a nylon stocking and left her body posed in her Malibu apartment.
See, it all screams sort of rage, but he doesn't seem angry, if that makes sense. It just seems like he just wants to desecrate a woman.
So, side note here, in 1978, Alcala basically, sort of, it seems like not just on this date, but throughout his time as being a photographer, he managed to convince hundreds of young men and women, so there were men involved as well, that he was a professional fashion photographer and took pictures of them for his portfolio, in inverted commas.
Portfolio.
So these photos would later become valuable evidence in the case against him. I just had to mention that as a side note because there were men in these photos as well, but, none were reported, but then there's an awful lot of murders I think he probably did commit.
Yeah.
But, So it was in 1978 that Rodney Alcala appeared on The Dating Game, so we're coming back to that.
As if he used his actual surname.
Yeah.
That's just brazen.
Yeah. Well, look at his fucking issues. So criminal profiler Pat Brown noted that Alcala killed at least 3 women after his appearance on the game show and speculated that this rejection might have been an exacerbating factor. One wonders what that did in his mind, Brown said.
What about before then?
Well, exactly. That is something he would not take to well. Psychopaths don't understand the rejection. I think she's saying that maybe escalated, not escalated. What's the word? Accelerated. That's the word I was trying to make. Maybe it accelerated things, but I mean,
how can you accelerate more than?
I mean, I don't know. But I mean, as we go on, there were multiple murders in 1 month here.
Oh, okay.
So
the amount.
But then, it was the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
There could be ones that weren't found.
The 70s were the worst time for serial killers, I feel.
Pretty fucking bad.
Yeah.
Especially in California. Yeah.
That's LA, isn't it?
Yes, darling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a lot of those sort of cases, LAPD failed fucking miserably.
They don't have the best track record.
No.
Yeah, it's not. Try harder, maybe.
To be fair, the UK had some major failings themselves as well.
Yeah. One would hope they've learnt from them.
I think there is much better police work now, but...
Yeah. Just perhaps not enough of them, but that's not their fault.
No.
So in February of 1979, Alcala picked up 15-year-old Monique Hoyt whilst she was hitchhiking in Riverside County. He drove Hoyt to his apartment where he raped her, then drove her to a secluded mountainous area near Branning, California, where he took photos of her. Alcala then bound and gagged her, assaulted her further, then bludgeoned her in the head with a rock. But despite all of this, Monique managed to escape. So she actually escaped when Alcala went into a petrol station bathroom on the drive back to Riverside County. So he was driving her back again.
Was she still bound?
I don't know. But
Either way,
she
fucking well done, girl.
Yeah. She filed a police report about her horrendous ordeal. But Alcala's mother posted his bail and he was let out. Literally, there are no words.
Yeah, but you post bail, but then you something happens after that. You're on bail, like you then awaiting.
Yeah, but he was out.
Well, yeah, I know, but
So then,
can someone be arrested with no option for bail? Yeah.
I mean that should have happened then, shouldn't it? Exactly,
Yeah.
Goobs, exactly. So then, jumping forward a little bit to June of 1979. Alcala raped, beat and murdered 33-year-old legal secretary Charlotte Lamb. Alcala strangled Charlotte with her own shoelace and left her body posed in the laundry room of an El Segundo apartment complex. In that same month, Alcala raped and murdered 21-year-old Jill Parentu. I hope I'm saying that right. He strangled Jill to death using either a cord or a nylon stocking. Alcala actually cut himself escaping through a window, so authorities were able to collect blood from the scene. Mm-hmm. And because of this, Alcala was linked to that murder. He was charged, but the case was later dismissed. Honestly,
too soon, didn't I? How was it dismissed?
I don't know, that those details weren't. It's very frustrating researching this case because, as you will see, it gets worse and worse, and there's very little detail about why this happened, why, it's very frustrating. You'll want to...
Smack my head against a wall?
Yes. Yeah. Again in June, so he's fucking going for it in June, Alcala approached 12-year-old Robin Samso and her friend Bridget Wolver, who were at Huntington Beach. He asked the girls to pose for photos, which caught the attention of a neighbour who asked if everything was all right, at which point Robin ran off. But later on, she was on her way to an afternoon dance class when Alcala kidnapped her, murdered her, and dumped her body in the foothills of San Gabriel Mountains. Her body, this is so awful, her body was scavenged by animals, and her skeletal remains were discovered on July 2nd of 1979. Her front teeth had been knocked out by Alcala.
Oh, that poor little baby girl.
Oh, God, it's just brutal. Alcala was also identified by several witnesses on the beach taking photographs of Robin and Bridget. He's very brazen. He's on this dating game. He's just taking photos like in front of everyone. He doesn't give a flying fuck because he's getting away with it. There were so many opportunities to lock this fucker up and throw away the key before more people got hurt and murdered. But
I'm struggling to know what to say.
oh, honestly,
This is so heavy.
I needed therapy after I fucking did this case.
Mark, can you take me home now, please?
Sorry, we got to finish it off.
Thank fuck we have lasagna afterwards.
Yeah, thank fuck. So following an investigation, Alcala was charged, tried and convicted for Robin Samso's murder in 1980. He was
sentenced to 1 to fucking life.
He was sentenced to the death penalty.
Oh, okay.
But the conviction was later overturned by the California Supreme Court.
Oh, no!
Honestly.
Why? Why?
I couldn't find why.
Oh.
I know, I'm sorry, babe. It's so frustrating.
I can't.
Alcala was again tried and convicted of the murder of Robin in 1986 and was again sentenced to the death penalty. But the second conviction was also overturned by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. I don't know why. I wish I had answers for you.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Taxi.
Yeah, fuck right off.
Oh.
While awaiting his third trial for the murder of Robin Samso, DNA collected from murder scenes of Jill Barkham, Georgia Wickstead and Charlotte Lamb was linked to Alcala. So he was charged with the 4 Los Angeles murders, including Jill Parenteau. At this trial, Alcala represented himself as
all right,
his,
fucking Ted Bundy.
Yeah, as his defence attorney. Of course he did, because he's a narcissistic psychopath. Mm-hmm. At one point in the proceedings, he took the stand and he questioned himself in third person. Fucking ludicrous.
What a fucking turnip.
And he also changed the tone of his voice depending on whether he was acting as his lawyer or as himself.
Oh, hell no.
Absolutely.
What
bonkers.
a fucking plonker.
Right. It shows the arrogance, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
the fucking arrogance of it
And
all.
he's performing.
Yeah, oh, completely.
That's what that is. That's a performance.
Absolutely, you're completely right.
Look at me, look at me. Fuck off. Go fucking
Do one.
do one. I want
one.
2, mate, do one.
So Alcala didn't contest the charges that he committed the murders of the 4 Los Angeles victims. Instead, he focused on the Robin Samso charges. He argued that he was at Knott's Berry Farm at the time of the murders, but he wasn't. So I don't know what he was on about. So these trials, basically, they span over a really significant amount of time. And as time goes on, there are advances in technology and sort of evidence evaluation. So he does end up getting charged with more murders. Mm-hmm. In February of 2010, the jury found Alcala guilty of all 5 counts of capital murder. So this is jumping forward. 2010, this is still fucking going on, which is absolutely, it's incomprehensible. 2010.
My brain hurts.
My
heart hurts.
So the jury found him guilty of all 5 counts of capital murder, 1 count of kidnapping and 4 counts of rape. Alcala attempted to sway the jury away from the death penalty by playing them the song Alice's Restaurant by Arlo Guthrie, which includes the lyrics, I mean, I wanna kill, I wanna see blood and gore and guts and veins in my teeth, eat dead burnt bodies, I mean kill.
And that's supposed to sway them away from the death penalty.
Yeah, surprisingly, this off-piece strategy did not work. In fact, the jury quickly recommended that he be put to death and they get the death penalty.
Jesus.
To which
Lord.
the judge agreed. Finally.
Oh, well done,
Someone's
you.
seeing some fucking
About fucking
sense.
time.
But I mean, how crazy is that was still going on in 2010?
I mean, it shouldn't have been. It should have
No.
been done, dusted, and him dead already.
He was known. He had been arrested. Like, it's not like he was escaping them all the time. Like, he was known by the authorities.
There's proof.
They had records and proof of this bullshit. So, immediately after Alcala's conviction, police actually released 120 of Alcala's photos to the public. He had, Alcala had rented a storage locker in Seattle a lot earlier. It seemed like it was sort of in the mid 70s to late 70s, possibly early 80s, where police found hundreds of photos of girls, young women and men, along with a bag of personal items which were suspected to have belonged to some
Trophies.
of Alcala's victims. Yep. Because, I mean, you know, let's be honest, at the rate he was going, there has to be more victims.
I'm really sorry to interject. I've just read something that Mark's got, like, the thing up on the case. Can you just scroll up a little bit? He filed stay there. He filed 2 lawsuits against the California penal system for a slip and fall incident and for refusing to provide him a low-fat diet.
I totally missed that in my research. Oh my God, that's...
Dude, go fuck yourself.
Again, that shows the level of arrogance, this whole...
Entitlement?
Oh my God. Absolute twat.
So one of the overturned convictions, the jurors hadn't been... they'd been improperly informed of his prior sex crimes.
Okay.
In part because a witness was not allowed to support Alcala's contention that the park ranger who found Samso's body had been hypnotised by police investigators.
Fuck's sake.
What? Oh, so that was another overturned conviction. Hypnotised.
Oh, for fuck... I mean... Yeah, but this is ridiculous, though. It's still overturned, like... You know, like, what the fuck? So, you know, as I was saying, like, there has to be more victims. The rate he was going, and there's big gaps of time where there's nothing reported. So, you know...
He flew under the radar, I reckon, with those ones.
I believe there were a lot more victims. The police, sort of using these photos, asked for the public's help in identifying the women and children in the photographs, and several of their faces were identified. Approximately 900 additional photos could not be made public because they were too sexually explicit. So the actual number of his victims is unknown, and it's very likely to be in the hundreds. On July 24th in 2021, Alcala died of natural causes while on death row. He was 77 years old.
Oh, so he was...
He died, but he wasn't put to death.
Oh.
He died whilst waiting on death.
Sorry, I don't know what I thought you said then. I have a thought, but it's eluding me right now.
My thought is that I need therapy after that.
Oh, yeah, there's that. Did he ever, sort of give some sort of reason as to what... Obviously, you know, we've got all of these diagnoses, but...
I believe when I was researching this, I think he wrote a book. So, possibly... So in A Woman of the Hour, it does allude to the fact that he's very touchy about the subject that his dad abandoned him. It does sort of...
No, that is a really fucking sad thing to happen, but how many...
It's not a reason to kill a bunch of people.
No, and there are plenty of people whose, you know, one parent has abandoned them, both parents, and they haven't done that.
That's the thing. I think it would be useful and interesting to find out more about what happened in his childhood, because something went on there.
It has to have done. You don't just turn.
No. But maybe he, like you said, maybe he's that anomaly.
Especially turn like that. Like, I don't know, say if someone's having sort of a love affair and, you know, you kind of grow obsessed with that person and whatnot, and then, I don't know, things break off and they start seeing someone else, and then you've got that. That's a crime of passion if you're then to shoot. You don't just go, la-da-da, normal childhood, blah, 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 blah. I know, dead.
Yeah. It does. The thing is with this case, like, you could literally do an entire podcast just on this case. So I had to sort of, and I really wanted to talk about it because Woman of the Hour is on Netflix. So, you know, I could probably readdress it another time.
Thank God for that gut instinct.
Yeah. And we've said, haven't we, before, trust your gut.
Yeah.
Trust your fucking gut.
Yeah. And I'd rather trust my gut and be wrong.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Than not trust my gut and... or not go with my gut and then end up fucking like
Dead.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. You will need to watch something... If you watch Women of the Hour, then watch something light-hearted like Brassic.
Yeah.
To cleanse the palate.
Yes. You're saying a lot when Brassic's a palate cleanser.
Yes, Brassic is a palate cleanser. I am waiting for a phone call from
Joseph Gilgan
and Noel Gallagher. So that's the dating game. Killer.
Well, you've ruined me.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But, you know, I just, yeah. You know what I'm like, popular culture, and it was just so linked to something very timely
Yeah.
on Netflix. I was like, I've got to talk about this because...
That is insane.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't believe I hadn't heard of him.
No.
Yeah, it's just... The
I think I need to watch Care Bears or something.
Yeah. The fact there was so many fucking serial killers is just like, literally we can't...
What
keep up with
happened in the
them.
fucking 70s? Was there something in the water?
Maybe.
Like, it's insane. Like, across, like, America and the UK and probably everywhere else.
Yeah.
The 70s to the 80s was just... People were just annihilated.
Well, the state of the sort of justice system at that time, clearly he was getting away with it. So maybe these other lunatics were sort of seeing these things and going, oh, he's fucking getting away with it, I'll have a go. Do you know what I mean? There were no cameras, really.
No, but I mean, even further, like, even earlier than that, you'd be more likely to get away with it because there was even less.
Yeah, true that. Yeah.
You didn't have things like, I mean, when did the FBI start? Like,
Oh,
that was in the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah. Edgar
So-
Hoover was the head of the
Yeah.
FBI. Yeah, I think that was the 70s. Goobs is going to find out. Federal Bureau of Investigation. Oh, 1908, not the
Okay,
70s.
I will take that back
Not
then.
the 70s. Yeah, so that... Yeah, I mean, I know. It's like...
But police work way back when was worse than that. It only kept getting, well, it was supposed to have only kept getting better.
Yeah. I think this is particularly frustrating because it's not like he was evading capture.
Yeah.
He'd been fucking captured.
That's the thing, people were just letting him run free.
Exactly. So it was just like, that's, you know, and then when they did have him, all these things, and he's, you know, the fact, the victims' families, like, this case is going on for years and years and fucking decades, and they're never getting closure, or it's taking so long, like, it's just prolonging the agony, which he probably loved.
Yeah.
You know, he probably loved that fact.
And as Mark rightly says as well, it's more the criminal system, the courts, not the police work.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The fact that nobody was watching him when that little girl was found and he ran off, that was bad policing. But I think, I don't know.
The whole thing is
The whole
big
thing is
fuck
just
up.
clusterfuck.
Clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go straight into get in the bin for this week is fucking clothes moths. Obviously, I had an issue with one on my wall earlier, which has now stained the fucking wall. Bastard things. So they've gone in the bin. Anyone else got to get in the bin?
Wearing makeup. Particularly on a fucking Sunday.
Yes, should be a day of rest for the face.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I don't wear makeup during the week for work.
Right.
I will only wear it if I'm doing something. I've got way more confident of that. I say confident. I just can't be asked.
There's a fine
There's
line.
a fine line.
What's the difference between
I
confidence
have weighed
and-
up how much I
can't
give
be
a
arsed.
fuck,
Yeah.
and I don't give that much of a fuck.
No. Reg doesn't either look at him. He's like, I am loving life.
I just, yeah. No. Mark's get in the bin is winter weather. To be fair, he does love a hot summer. When I used to run, I used to like running when it was chilly, drizzly, that sort of thing. Mark will run in 40-degree heat.
Yeah, that's mad.
Like, how?
That is mad. I mean, well, the thing is also, you guys have got air conditioning now, so you're set up for all occasions.
We do have aircon, and it blows out heat too.
Exactly, so that's pretty good. I will say, I love listening to the rain. I find it very calming.
So do I, yeah.
And when I go to sleep, I put sounds of rain on to try
There's
and fall
nothing.
asleep.
Do you know? I love that when you're curled up and cozy inside, and you can just hear the rain beating down.
That was another good thing about the barn.
Yeah.
Because it was all vaulted ceilings, you could hear the rain really
yeah.
easily, which was kind of nice.
Although we can hear it against our patio doors.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll do it. So have you got get in your pocket?
You and Mark go. I need to think.
So Goober's get in his pocket is Anna Kendrick. Fucking yes. She's amazing. We love
Yeah.
her. My getting in my pocket is podcasting because I really enjoy it.
Oh,
And I love you guys. I love it when you guys come round and we set up the studio and it's just fun. I just really enjoy it.
Okay, then, on the same sort of level, I'm going to say dinner with friends and people you love.
Dinner with friends is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So random fact. Have you got a random fact?
Again, please, other people go.
I may have already said this. If I have, I'm just reiterating this random fact that when I was born at 6'15" and I weighed 6.15 pounds. So I weighed the same at the time I was born, and I was a sunroof baby.
Okay, my random fact, I'm a sunroof baby.
Yay, there you go.
Yeah.
And Goobs,
I can proudly say I've never touched my mother's vagina.
I'm so glad I was a sunroof baby.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't know.
Oh, did you not know I was a sunroof baby? You knew me, not Helen.
Yeah, we're both. I wonder has that got any sort of psychological effect?
No.
No, I don't.
Oh, here's a random fact. Because I don't want to keep,
You just said one.
Yeah, but I keep riding your coattails a little bit. As a young lassie, I may have jumped out of my mother's arms onto a tiled floor.
Oh,
So
God.
that could have had an effect.
We've both had significant head injuries as children.
Me hitting you over the head with a Teenage Mutant Turtle does not count as a significant head injury.
No, but I did fall off horses a lot.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah. I also fell out of a tree onto a concrete slab. Whacked my head and my head went into a feed bucket.
I was ganged. I was ganged up on a group of girls with a yard broom. They smashed that around my head repeatedly.
I feel like we have side effects from that, so we can use that as an excuse for further situations.
That was horrific. I had an argument with an ex, and then they came out and they were laughing and pointing and things like that, and then just descended.
That's horrendous.
I was beaten around the head with a wooden yard broom.
Trying to end this on a lighter note, woman.
I'm just explaining there may be a reason for why I am the way I am as a person.
With all due respect, this is why we're like we are.
Yeah.
Goob's random fact is he made lasagna to be consumed straight after recording the set because he wants to go and watch F1, so we're going to hurry along with it.
Yeah.
So thank you very much to Goobs for recording all of this for YouTube, doing all the sound, Park Lane Studios, massive, love you, all the things.
Yeah.
Go to Linktree, it's got all of the stuff on there, Instagram, email, TikTok, fucking everything, and that is Linktree /Cars on the Carb.
And on that note,
Stay spooky, bitches.